Every time you leave, there's only one thing that I know. What's that? Baby, yo te extraño. Maybe me, that's la culpa. I'm guilty because I go.
Okay, so that actually sounds pretty damn good.
It does. Hello, and welcome back to Hola, Bonita's sixth episode.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Joanna, and I'm here with my husband, Hugo.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. So we just heard the new song from Banda MS and Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
It is pretty good. I must say I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. I've already heard it like 4 times.
Yeah.
But I guess this is why I love Banda MS.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty good.
Right?
When I first heard about it, and shout out to I forgot her name. Of course. Sorry.
I think it's Mari, but
she commented on YouTube and told us about it.
Yeah.
And
she reminded me because I knew that they were working on this song.
Yeah.
But I forgot about it when she mentioned, hey, it's coming out Friday. You should listen to it.
That was a good comment right there.
That was such a good suggestion. So thank you so much for your feedback and for suggesting that song. I'm a fan. We like it. We love it. I love Banda MS and I'm a Snoop Dogg fan. So having them both in a song is pretty fucking cool.
I thought I was going to have to
But no, it's a hit. It's a hit. I like it for sure.
I mean, okay, so you really like it.
I do. I really like it.
I like it. I think Snoop Dogg, his first verse, it's really...
You that's your favorite, right? You like that one better?
Yeah, because it sounds really natural.
Yeah, it just flows so good with the song. That, I was wondering, how are they going to do 2 different types of music together? You know, how are they going to combine that? But yeah, you're right. It flows really good. And I really thought that they were going to have Snoop Dogg for maybe a verse. Yeah. And that's it. So I was surprised to hear more of Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, and then at the end, Banda MS is Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. So cool. It's crazy. 2020, this is the world we live in. Snoop Dogg and Banda MS together.
But yeah, the second verse, I was it's okay.
But I like it.
It sounded a little bit more forced than the...
You think because he talked a little more Spanish, maybe?
No, I don't know. I don't know. The first one kind of flowed and...
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to hear it again.
Yeah.
I wish I could play it on here.
I know, but I'm afraid that they're going to be
the YouTube is going to take this shit
YouTube was going
down.
to be you don't have the rights to this song.
So YouTube actually... they gave us a warning already, right? Because we played the novela, the scene. Out of all this shit, the novela.
All this fucking novela.
It was
and they were on it.
It was
right?
As soon as I uploaded it to YouTube,
they had something to say.
10 minutes later, oh, this is a warning or whatever the fuck it says. But
so we gotta, I guess we can't be using a lot of YouTube content. Is that what it is? Yeah. So anyways, if you have not heard the song Que Maldición with Banda MS and Snoop Dogg, which by the way, they have an animated video on YouTube, go check it out. Go look at it. It's pretty entertaining and a really good song. So it's definitely going to be my summer hit, summer jam.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, I have that song in my head now. It's so catchy. So anyways, moving on to other news. The tortillas.
The tortilla. There's a panic in
There's
Chicago.
a panic for sure.
So,
El Milagro Tortilleria.
Yeah, so if you're not from Chicago, maybe you're not familiar. Are they I don't think they're nationwide.
No
El Milagro. No, because I know when we go to California and shit like that, we're always looking for those tortillas.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, there's a tortilleria in Chicago. It's called El Milagro.
Which is the only tortillas that we eat. If it's not homemade, which my suegra makes homemade tortillas that are really good. But if it's not those, then we're always eating El Milagro.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
So
and
there's a panic going on.
They have to they had to close the factory, right?
Yeah.
Because did somebody die? or is somebody just
I know somebody tested positive. I don't know. I don't know if I think somebody did die.
I think I don't like take my word for it, but I think the person that tested positive for COVID-19 did pass away, but it's something that we will have to Google to be for sure. But I think he passed away. Anyways, so they had to close down to obviously like screen the place, clean, and do what they have to do, you know? And so for 2 weeks, right?
For 2 weeks, yeah.
So no tortilla making for 2 weeks. And already we're seeing that, like, we order our grocery through Instacart. And already this week when we try ordering tortillas, because when we saw this, we're like, we're going to order a shit ton.
Yeah.
And our Instacart people, the girl that was shopping for us that day was like, nope, none.
Sold out.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn it. I mean, luckily, like, we live with my in-laws, so luckily, like, my suegra could throw down on some tortillas. I'm going to have to have her teach me.
We ordered
a bunch of maseca.
5 4-pound bags or whatever. And because especially my dad, I don't know. Well, you've never seen The Office, right?
Me in bits and pieces, but
there's a scene where they're doing what's going on over there? They're doing a like a fire. They're preparing for a fire. What do you call that?
Fire drill.
A fire drill.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like panicking and running out of the office, especially Michael, the boss. And he's like, calm the fuck down or something like that. So he's like panicking, right? So
is that what you're picturing?
That's what I'm picturing. Everybody, especially my dad, was like tortillas.
My suegro does not go a day without eating tortillas.
So one time he was sick, and he's like, it's because I haven't had tortillas in like 2 days.
And he really does believe that if he doesn't eat tortillas, enferma.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, he eats it pretty much with almost every single meal, almost.
Yeah, I'll be making like some nice, New York strip steaks or whatever.
Right, some nice steak.
And then, with like mashed potatoes and shit on
something you eat con un tenedor.
And my dad
está calentando las tortillas.
Next thing you know, he has the comal going. And it's funny. But I try to tell him, like, no, you gotta enjoy the steak. Like,
right, you can't eat that with tortillas. But hey, that's how he likes it.
He's not gonna enjoy it.
Right.
So
that's crazy. Let us know. Are you panicking too? Are you good? You know how to make those tortillas? If you do, you gotta teach me, because I tried once. ¿Te acuerdas when we went to go buy that masa?
Yeah.
One of my clients like, hey, go to this place. Tienen la masa preparada. All you have to do is shape it up, put it in the comal, and boom.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, cool. So we get, some masa. I go home and I'm feeling like a badass. Like me van a salir bien and we're good. Like we're going to eat homemade tortillas all the time. That shit's hard.
So this reminds me, shout out to Celia.
Oh, yeah.
On Facebook, she was like, oh, you should make a video
making tortillas. Me tengo que enseñar primero and then we can make it, because like I said, I only tried it once and it was a total fail. Me salió una gordita. No me salió tortilla. Yeah. It was like a thick ass thing. I don't know. Anyways, maybe because I don't have like the tortilla press. Pretty sure that's why.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna have to try that again.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine me over there making tortillas.
So. For real. But anyways, so do you like your tortillas? Is they corn or flour? What do you like?
I like corn. Corn tortillas all the way.
I like
and amarillas.
Amarillas. Oh, porque hay blancas y amarillas. Oh my God, there's so much options. Yes. My go-to is corn. Amarillo. It's my go-to. I will say though, we have to give a shout out to probably my favorite Mexican restaurant in Chicago.
The Rachera place?
Yes, Canton Regio. If you live nearby Chicago, you have to go to 18th Street in Pilsen and you have to go have a rachera at Canton Regio.
It's good as fuck.
It is fucking good. Like, good. That's what they're known for. And ahí tienen you order like either half a kilo or a kilo of carne. Te la traen like in this like sartén de like stainless steel, right?
Yeah.
And they bring you like a bunch of like little tortillas, and you could pick like the corn or flour.
Yeah.
And when I go there, I get mixed because los de harina de ahí, los de flour, they're fucking good.
I mean, they're good, but
no,
I'd rather...
he prefers corn, but no, those are my favorite flour tortillas that I've had at a restaurant, or I think like ever. They're so good. So shout out to them for being so good, and I hope that, you know, when all this is over, we can go and have.
So there's a story about that.
Go ahead, what happened?
Remember, I didn't want to tell my wife this, but
what
about that rachera there? Remember I told you?
Oh, go ahead.
So I keep telling my wife that she likes her steak well done.
Medium well, please.
Medium well.
I'm getting better. Medium well.
And so since she loves this place, I tell her like, hey, well, I didn't want to tell her because I thought it was gonna ruin it for her, but apparently it's so good that it didn't ruin it.
No.
I told her, I'm like, hey, that they cook it pretty medium there. That's not like medium well or well. Because when I make it, she's all like, oh, make sure it's, you know.
Esté bien cocinada, por favor.
Yes.
I like no pink.
Yeah.
You know
and so the reason why she likes it so much is because it's cooked medium. Which by the way,
sets that. But I can't say that I've seen any like pink or that I've seen any like blood or anything. I can't say that. Medium is there's no blood coming out, right? It's just pink.
There's like a little bit of pink.
Okay. But that place, if you ate there before, or si no, you'll see cuando vayas, but it's dark.
Yeah,
it's very dim. So
I like their style.
Yeah, it's very dim and busy as fuck. Meseros are running around everywhere. But anyways, it's very dim. There's not a lot of like light, so I can't say that I've seen what color the meat is, which is better for me. I know my husband didn't want to tell me it's cooked medium because le iba a agarrar asco, but this place is so good que I'm just like whatever. Y cuando voy, I'm so hungry that I just dive in and.
We had
I get like 20
it was
tacos.
like a week and a half where we were there like 3 times or something like that.
We were like 4 Sundays in a row.
Because I think we went to the Chicago car show.
Yeah, we went to friends for dinner, and then the following weekend we went.
Shout out Jackie and Chato.
Oh yeah,
who else
and
was there?
Becky,
Roberto, El Güero.
Mm-hmm. We went and we had dinner there, and we went that time, and then we went the following Sunday with your sisters. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, and then we went for your sister's birthday.
And then we went for my sister's birthday. So we went like 3 Sundays in a row.
Yeah.
But that place is so good. Anyways, we're still on this tortilla subject. How do you like to eat your guisados?
See, now this is controversial. Like everything we're talking about here is kind of controversial. All right, corn versus flour.
And corn blanco or amarillo?
Corn blanco, amarillo. And now we're going to talk about how you eat your guisados. Mm-hmm. So there's pretty much like 2 options, right?
Yes.
And we're talking about at home.
Yeah.
At home. So if you make a guisado or, you know, somebody makes a guisado, you're at home, do you dig into the guisado with a tortilla?
Yeah. Do you use your tortilla as a spoon?
Or do you make yourself tacos?
Yeah. So what do you do?
Dun, dun, dun. Where is that? Not that one. What do you do? I use a tortilla as a spoon.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. You do. I do too. I don't think I make myself tacos with the guisado.
Yeah.
No.
If you're out like at a restaurant and you order tacos de guisado, you know what I mean? Then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's different.
At restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah, but at home, yeah, no, I totally use my tortilla as a spoon, and I wipe the plate clean with it.
Yeah.
So the very last drip of that guisado.
So I do this thing where, you know, me sirvo, and I say that it's enough. Mm-hmm. But then if I have a little bit of guisado left, then I have to, you know, get more tortilla.
Yeah.
And then I have more tortilla, so then I have to get more guisado. Right? So I go back and forth.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
You do that a lot.
So probably shouldn't do that. But
it works for you.
It works for me.
All right. Today we have something very exciting.
Yes.
We have our first guest on our podcast. So we had mentioned how we want to have guests on our podcast and have them join us. And first of all, the idea was for them to come and have a drink with us in person, but obviously because of what's going on, we can't do that. So we're going to have our guest today, but we're going to do it through a video call.
Yeah, we're going to test this out.
Yes, we're going to test this out. So we're very excited for that. We're going to take a break, set up, and then we'll be back with her.
Sounds good.
All right. Hola, this is Joanna. Thank you for listening to us. We're just getting started, so if you're enjoying our podcast, please tell your friends about us. Gracias. All right, we're back with our guest. She is our first guest to our podcast. We're very excited to have her. Her name is Bianca Salazar. She's a daughter of Mexican immigrants, a wife, mom, and entrepreneur. She's been a badass hairstylist for 10 years and has recently opened up her own salon. So, hi, Bianca.
Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good, we're good. We're so excited to have you. How are you?
Good? I'm good. I think that question is so important lately.
I know.
Right? Like, how's everyone doing? Really doing? I've been good. I just keep saying that we just have to adjust and adapt and keep moving.
That is the attitude to have. Right. That was actually going to lead into my first question. Like, how are you doing during quarantine? You know, I mentioned you just opened up your own salon. So how is that affecting you and your business?
I think it's putting me in a position that I needed to be in, kind of get a little bit uncomfortable and just like figure out new ways to do things because there's going to be a new norm. And it's pushed me to do things that like I didn't even think I could do. Like, I kept saying, I'm like, I need a website, but I need someone to build it for me. And I'm like, okay, I just built it, because it pushed me to do something that I had to do. So that I think it's affected me positively in that way. Negatively, I think it's just a mind game. Like, you're kind of just having to stay as positive as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm. I like how you mentioned that because I think we had mentioned like, it'd be so cool to have like a podcast and we will be doing this and we're going to talk about that. But I think like because of the situation we're in, we're like, what better time than now? Yeah. So
for sure.
That is definitely a positive. So what are some of the things that you're doing to stay busy?
I think just engaging most importantly with my clients and potential stylists that I want to hire. I think connecting with your clients is so important right now because everyone feels a little disconnected either from the world or each other and we can't physically be around each other. So I just started doing like virtual meetings with my clients so that we can be on the same page so I can see how they're doing. I'm like, what are you watching on Netflix? Like, let's hang out. Let's have a drink together. Cool. Yeah.
I did see on Instagram that you were doing that. So are you doing that with current clients or?
Sorry, I'm doing it with like any existing clients that already had appointments like in March, April, and May. Okay. So that we can, I'm sure things have changed with their hair. I'm just trying to touch base with them, let them know that things are going to be changing around the salon a little bit. Just so that they don't walk into the salon and they're like, what just happened? You know?
That is such a good idea, actually. Because it is very important to stay connected. I say right now more than ever, like us as hairstylists, we have to stay present on social media and we have to be, let our clients know, hey, we're here. What do you need?
Exactly. Whether even if it's just to talk, we don't even have to talk about hair. We could just talk about whatever,
But yeah, I like that. I do. I started doing virtual consultations, but the way that I have it set up is more for like new clients. So I like your idea a lot, like of keeping in touch with existing clients.
Right.
I might have to.
And I think that's what I kind of was going with too when saying that like it's pushed me to do things that I probably wouldn't have done before. Yeah. Where that might open up like a new direction for future things. Like maybe that can save me time with consultations later on. So I think that's the cool thing about this, I guess.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Mm-hmm. So you said you've been a hairstylist for 10 years. You are located in Chicago, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
What led you into the profession you're in?
So I think like growing up, I was always like, I want to be a teacher or a doctor because that's just like what you kind of say that, like that's like the societal standard at that point. And one day my Thea was like, I don't think you can. And I was like, why not? She's like, because you're really unorganized. And I was like, what?
Uh-huh.
She's like, you're not a school person. She's like, you like to have your own schedule. You're a free spirit. And then I was like, she's right. So I got into cosmetology school and I went for my associates at the same time because I was like, maybe I do want to be a teacher, or, you know, not to say that either one is better than the other. I think we're all talented in our own way, but I think I stopped trying to fit into this like box that like they were putting us in at that point. And I decided to do that. I feel like that's when it all, like my true personality came out. So yeah, I did beauty school and I got my associates at the same time. And I think it's because, yeah, I do like to be my own boss. I like to be like outside of the box. I like to be creative. And so that was like the perfect outlet for me. Something to do with being creative for sure.
So what did you get your associates in? I'm curious.
Got it. Applied science.
Okay.
Like
so that's actually similar to me. I actually went to beauty school first. I went to beauty school while I was in high school. So I was 16 because it's something that I always wanted to do. But I'm the oldest of two. So I felt like my parents were always like, you have to go to college. You have to get a degree. So I was always kind of pushed into, okay, I'm a hairstylist, but I need something else.
Right,
so I got associates in business management, and I actually tried to get a bachelor's, and I was like, what am I doing? That's not for me. Like, I'm a hairstylist. Doesn't
feel right.
It doesn't. No. But that's crazy. All right, next.
But I think it is important to get something like that though, because like then you can, I don't know.
Compose. You're right. Actually, I feel like it's really helped me. Like, I'm so thankful. I went to community college and I got my associates because of my dad. Because he's like, when he agreed to pay for beauty school, you know, at 16, I had no money. So when he agreed to pay for my beauty school, he's like, I'm going to do it, but I need you to do this, graduate high school, and then go to college and do something else, like plan B as backup. And
I do encourage that for sure.
And I was like, okay, sure. And I went and I did it. And now more than ever, now as a salon owner, I'm like, wow, it's helped so much. Like little things that I didn't think I was going to need. You know, I'm like, I'm a hairstylist. This is not teaching me how to color. But now I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, marketing. You need that.
Totally.
There's a lot more to it.
Like Excel. Like what?
Oh, my God. I actually took a whole class on Excel for a semester.
Yeah, I got certified in like business skills, which was like Excel, Word, like Outlook, all like that. So it's like, I totally encourage that.
Like, thank God, right?
Yeah.
So what is something you wish you would have known when you started out?
Beauty school or salon
like your profession, your career?
What? I think if I had to, probably to just say yes to everything, even if you're like, do it scared. I think in the beginning, it was like kind of like I just want to be great and I don't want to fail at something that I know I'm not confident that I can do. And finally, one day, like 4 years into being out of beauty school, a mentor of mine was like, just say yes. And he's like, and if someone's like, hey, do like a bridal party. If you don't know what you're doing, by the time that the bridal party comes around, you better know what you're doing. And so then you have to like do your research, practice. So then if you just do it scared, then you just acquire a new skill that you didn't even think you could do. Like, for example, right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. I agree with that. I feel like, especially when you're starting out, right? I feel like you let fear hold you back.
Yeah, totally.
And that definitely happened to me too.
What's the name of your hair salon?
Oh yeah,
VR Hair Loft.
VR Hair Loft. So I'm gonna make sure we have all your information on like our YouTube descriptions and
so
all of that
check
stuff.
you out because I follow your salon page. I follow your personal page, your salon page, and your salon page is so cute. Like, I'm always showing it to my husband. I'm like, look at it. Like
She was showing it to me.
Yeah, like the feed and everything, it just flows so nicely.
Oh, thank you.
So it's beautiful.
Inspiration.
Definitely inspiration.
You guys.
What so Vier Salon, is there a meaning behind the name?
Yeah, so my son's name is Xavier, so it's Avier. And so the reason what pushed me to finally like pull the trigger and open the salon was because I suffered from like really bad postpartum depression and anxiety. And my son, I think, like kind of got me out of all that. So I kept saying to myself, like, there's a quote on the wall of my salon that says, "But still, like, air all rise." So then I liked how like air had a lot of meaning to it, and my son and I are both air signs. We're both Geminis, and his name is Xavier. So then I took the Vier out and just changed the pronunciation a little bit, and it all just went clink, and I was like, that's it, that's the one I want.
That's really cool.
That's such a cool like story. Wow.
Thank you.
I know because I follow you had mentioned something about the name. That's why I'm like, I have to like ask her so our listeners can know the story too. Yes, because I feel like that's so cool. So how old is your son?
He's about to be 2 in a few weeks.
Oh,
yeah, he's so cute.
Exciting.
They grow up fast.
Oh my God, yes. So is he a May baby?
Yeah, he's May 27th.
Okay.
Memorial Day.
Oh, okay. Our son is gonna be 2 in September.
Oh, that's such a fun age.
Yeah, so we were pregnant like around the same time. And I'm glad you actually touched the postpartum depression because I feel like that's such a common thing, right?
Mm-hmm. It is, and I feel like not that we don't talk about it, but it's almost like there's like a stigma of like you kind of don't talk about it, especially I think in like the Latino community.
Yes.
It's more like just tough it up. We all did it, you know. Mm-hmm. And I felt that pressure that I'm like I can't talk about it because everyone else went through it, but they didn't really talk about it. So. Yeah, I think that's such a important subject to talk about.
Definitely. So you said you felt like my next question was actually going to be like, what made you want to open the salon? But you mentioned like your son.
Yeah.
Wanted to.
My son. Yeah, and like I guess like proving to myself that I can.
Yeah.
Despite what I was going through, and I mean it was very difficult, but I did it. You know, so it's like.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part?
I think every time I think about that, I think it's just having, if you ever think about opening a salon, just the expectation of any dates that you had in your head or whatever, let go of that.
That is so true. My husband.
You're like, I'm going to open in October, really think like February.
Right.
So.
Remember, I had asked same thing when we were opening up our salon. We signed our lease contract in December.
Yeah.
Of 17?
No, of 2018. 18? My son was 2 months.
Oh, yeah, of 18.
And we totally jumped into it, okay? Like, I was a salon suite owner, and my lease was coming up. Like, I had to renew it ends of the year. So 2018, my son was 2 months, and I mentioned to my husband, like, I have to make my decision of going back to the salon suite, renew for another year, or, like, I had already, like, thought of the idea of doing, like, a salon. I felt like I grew my space. And I told them, I'm like, I kind of want to like see the possibility of opening up a salon. Like, I know it's going to be hard, but like, how hard is it?
Right.
And I had like, at this time, I think I told you in like November, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a month before my lease was up at the salon suite. And I really thought my husband was going to be like, you're crazy. Like, we have a 1 month old and, you know, like, we're not going to like open up a salon. But
we jumped
he's like,
right
yeah,
in.
let's like look into it. Yeah, pretty much like fuck it. And so we did, and we found the spot which we're in right now. We're recording in the spot. And at first I was like, I want something small, maybe like 500 square feet, feet.
Yeah.
And because my suite was like 100 square feet, it was tiny.
Yeah.
And we ended up signing the lease to like a 2,000 square foot place.
Yeah, this is I was like 2,700 square feet.
This place? Yeah. And
this
for sure.
It was like one of those like it's meant to be, it feels right. Like the place, like the floors were fucked up. Everything was like it had good bones, but there was a lot of things to be done. The place was not set up as a salon. So we had to do the plumbing, the electricity. Oh my God. And we just saw the vision. We're like, yeah, it's gonna be like so badass.
Yeah.
And
as soon as you walk into the space that you want, you just feel it. You're like,
it feels right. And so yeah, that was in December, and my husband's like, yeah, you know, like we'll do this. Ask the people at the salon suites if they can extend your contract till February. 2 months, we'll be done.
Yeah, right.
I didn't believe him, but I was like, okay, sure. I was like, maybe by March. Girl, it took us. We finally officially opened November of last year. It took us almost a year, 11 months.
I believe you. That's the one thing that I say. If you ever want to open a salon, just be really patient.
Holy shit. I didn't know I was this patient.
I know.
Did you have to deal with the city permits and all of
How
that,
is
like
it
a
over
lot,
there?
or because we had to deal with that a lot, like
We're located in
really
Elgin,
bad.
and they are horrible for that stuff.
Girl, same. That's what I was telling my husband. I'm like, anytime you want to talk to anyone from the city, I had to like make sure I didn't have any clients, make sure I had a sitter, go all the way to City Hall downtown and be like, what is this? And they'd be like, I don't know. And then I'd be like, oh my God, no one knew what they were talking about. And I had to go straight into the city. And yeah, dealing with anything with Chicago is
It's
a
horrible.
nightmare.
Yeah, we had the worst time here.
Yeah.
And you know what? It would have been worse for us, but I have a friend that works in the
At the city.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
Shout out Cecilia.
Shout out to her. Yeah,
And
I feel like that helped.
She helped
was
us.
giving us the ins like, oh yeah, like we received it, or no, they haven't looked at it. You know, little things like that.
See,
But
that's the hardest part is that like
you don't know.
I mean, no one can follow up with you because why would they?
Right.
And especially Chicago, I mean, it's like they got other
huge.
things to like do stuff too besides my salon, besides my little business, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a nightmare.
That was crazy. When the remember that we had the two plumbers here, they were arguing, they were gonna fight.
Oh yeah. We had that too. Like the two plumbers were going at
the
it.
city and then our plumber or contractor.
Dealing with contractors. Did you have to do a lot for your build out?
Not really. I mean, they had walls up, and then the previous tenant just had to take them down, but nothing really. It was mainly all like cosmetic. Thank God. It used to be like a tanning salon, and she had a lot of water beds, so thankfully like the water was already there.
That's so nice.
Just electrical was like minor things just to make sure that the light fixtures were where I wanted them, but I mean that's it. Thank God, but it still took forever.
Yes,
we were gonna look for a place like that.
Yeah.
That was a little
I
bit
really
more ready.
originally wanted something that was already set up, like some type of like beauty business, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But no, when we saw this, we're just like, yeah, we're gonna do it. And I tell my husband all the time, I'm actually glad I didn't realize how much work it was gonna be, because you're gonna go charge the computer. Because I feel like if I would have known all the stuff that was going to involve, I would have been too scared. I would have been like, nope, I can't do that. Or nope, how am I going to get that money, you know?
Well, then I want to ask you guys too, because like as a married couple, I feel like my husband he was involved a lot, but it's like, I mean, you guys have to definitely be on the same page, because it's like, as much as you try to communicate it.
To answer your question, so how do we do it, like as a married couple, you know, that like, say that again?
I mean, there'd be times that like I'd be like, I can't even talk to you right now because you're.
There was times that I was just like crying for no reason, because I just felt so pressured, because I was still working. First of all, you know, obviously I need to work to come up with the money.
And we had a newborn.
We had a newborn.
Right, that's hard.
And yeah, there was a lot of times where I was, and I was so, when he was finally like, okay, I think we're getting ready to open, I freaked out. And it's something that I was waiting so much to get to, and then it's like, shit, we're finally gonna do it, and then I would just have my moments.
I think the only issues we had were like, I would be like, okay, you know, we need to chill and not spend
because I had
another 10 grand, and then like another 10 grand, and
what helped us,
like I just wanted to open, you know. But good thing we kind of waited, and she was right. So
so I was gonna say, to answer your question, my husband was working as in marketing.
In marketing, yeah.
And he quit his job. So he quit his job to be able to do this. Otherwise, I don't know how long it would have taken us, because he was working.
It's been more pressure.
He was working full time until about 5 p.m. Go straight from work to the salon, work with the contractors, work with whatever needed to be done, and then go home later and barely spend any time with my son and I. So it got to be a lot. And then, you know, we're in this together. We're business partners. So I'm like, I actually told him, I'm like, what business owner do you know that works for another business?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
I mean,
so
true. So
we made the decision, and so he quit his job, and that's helped a ton. It's like
because it takes so much. It takes so much out of a person. I mean, it's gratifying because it's yours, but it's so much work. You know, you're on all day.
Yes, and I do all of the behind the chair stuff, like the hair, but he handles all the computer stuff and all of the marketing, and so
that's awesome. That's great.
So I needed him to be available.
Totally.
But how did we get into that question? Oh, what was the hardest part? What was the hardest part of opening up the salon? Everything was so hard. What are some of your plans with your salon? What are your projects? Do you see yourself opening up another salon, expanding?
Not yet. I mean, I do, like, my husband and I do talk about that, and I'm like, I'd like to be somewhere warm. But for now, I think I just wanted to, for me, like, when I first started even thinking about opening a salon, is I just wanted like a clean open space so that if I ever wanted to get into education, I could do that here. If I ever wanted to bring on any like educators that I look up to, I always wanted a space to do that, or to create content that was like that would flow, or that I just wanted an open space. So I think that's like my main thing, is to be able to provide like a space for stylists to learn more, to grow, so that I can bring other educators to help my stylist grow, you know?
So is that some of the plans, doing education once we go back to normal life?
Yeah. I do. Yeah, that's like my main thing. I feel like every time someone asks me that, that's where my mind goes.
Yes.
I'm like, I just want to bring on education and just keep
I will be there
helping everybody grow. Awesome.
For sure. You have to do some of your photography stuff. Because I was telling my husband, I'm like, yes, your pictures are so pretty.
Awesome. Thank you.
What is a common myth you would say about, well, we share the same profession, about being a hairstylist?
That all we do is hair. There's so much that we do. Marketing, HR, therapist, hair, artist, photographer, social media.
The business side of it.
Business, yeah. Like if you work for yourself, even if you work at a commission salon, like you're still having to take pictures of your stuff and create content and work on your social media and respond to clients. Like it's a full day thing. And I think a lot of people just see us and say, oh, she just does hair, she just does balayage. I'm like, no, there's like so much more stuff we have to do.
It's a 24/7 job almost. It really is.
Literally.
And I'm glad you touched that, because I always think that no matter if you work for a salon, if you work for yourself, like you said, commission, it doesn't matter. As whenever you're a hairstylist, like you are automatically an entrepreneur. Like that's our field, you know. We are not in the field of like nurses where they don't get paid however many patients they have. They get their salary or hourly, whatever they do. And so with us, it's like it's a sales job. You know, like you have to go and find your clients to sit in your chair. You can't rely on the salon owner to do that for you.
Right.
So it's
and you have to work on your craft like all the time.
Yes,
make sure that you're
up
to date with all the styles and
like lingo. Have you seen those chunky highlights?
I know.
I was telling my husband, I'm so excited. I'm actually a pro at those. When I started in 2005, that was it, like chunky ass highlights. So
yeah,
I learned that already.
Like the front chunk now.
What was that?
A lot of people are doing like the front chunk now.
Yes, and I'm actually excited. I'm all open for it. So, but yeah, you're right. Things change all the time, and we have to be on top of it. If you don't, then all the time, clients will go to somebody else who is, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that's a big myth.
What?
Like what she mentioned about that people think that all you do is hair.
It is.
So myself included, being on the outside, that this isn't my profession. You know, before I met my wife, like now I could spot a girl's hair and be like, that girl's hair is fucked up.
my husband too.
But before, you know, I could see how I see the other side, you know, of how people think that it's just like, oh, you do hair. And
or they see our passion and they're like, oh, but you love it. Like, you know, it's like your passion, hobby or whatever, like, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, no, like we're running like a business.
Totally, all day. And, you know, you have to keep you have to be able to be at work and like be with your client and formulate and think about the next client that's walking in and like, you know, like I have to take a picture after and make sure that like, you know, just it's draining. Multitasking all day long.
Definitely. There's times when I'm like, you know, I worked and I go home and I'm like, my husband sometimes will be like, what's wrong? I'm like, I just want to talk. Tired. I did talking all day, like, you know, and you have to be like in a good mood for all clients. Like,
right,
you know, you can't be drained at the last client of the day. Like you have to be 100 like you were with the first one.
That's another the formulas, like people don't know. I didn't know. I had no idea about
there's a lot of
formulas
math
and
involved.
Shit like that. So when my wife tries to explain that to me, like, nah, I'm not gonna follow that. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of science involved for sure. Do you work with an assistant?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I do recommend it personally, just because I feel like I don't know. I feel like then that way I can give my client. Sorry. Am I still back on?
Yeah,
we see.
That way you can give your
that
clients.
I can give my client a lot more of me, where I don't have to be thinking about like cutting foils and like things like that. I decided that maybe like 4 years ago, and it's been the best decision of my life.
That's awesome. I just started this year actually. And it was something that I always wanted to do. Like I always wanted to like add an assistant, but it's you can't just add anybody, you know? It's like literally your right hand. So it had to be like the right person. And I'm such a control freak. So it's taking some time to be like, you have to let go of certain tasks and, you know, train your assistant to do that. So I've been working with one since January, and shout out to Bree because she is amazing. And if it wasn't for her, I'm like, there was one time where she's still in beauty school. She was supposed to graduate in April, but because of what's going on, it's going to take a little longer. But she's like, I can't come to work this day because I have like a school field trip or something. And I'm like, okay, like no problem. Like I worked for an assistant for pretty much, you know, over 10 years, so I'm fine. And then I was working that day, and I'm like, holy shit, she's not here to right. Like I was running out of my lightener, and I'm like, all right, this is the time where Brie would have been with the, you know, right. Or like cutting foils, or like holding the long foil for me. And so I told her the next day, I was like,
shout out to Karina too. Dude, like honestly, I would not be able to do what I do every day, because like I'm having to think about 100 other things, and like you said, she's mixing my formulas for me, and when she's not here, I'm like, I'm useless.
It's so hard. I can't believe I did it that long.
I gotta give my perspective on this.
Go ahead.
Because remember, I was like, hold on, you want to hire somebody?
Oh, yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
But then she explained it to me, and I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's been a lot better. And then a lot, like you said, like you give a better service to your clients too, you know? Yeah. And my clients have told me she gives better shampoos than I do.
Yeah, same here.
And I think it's because I was like, okay, wash the color and like be ready for the next one, you know? And with Brie, she's just like massaging and, you know, deep conditioning. And so they're like, they definitely enjoy hers better.
The clients love it. Or like if they need anything, they go to her over me sometimes. And I'm like, dang, what am I, chopped liver? they love her. It's amazing.
So that's awesome. What is some like an advice you would give somebody who is interested in being a hairstylist and joining this profession?
Just to not put yourself in a box. I think you could be wildly successful in this industry. You just have to push as far as you possibly can. Say yes to everything. This is not just doing hair. Like you could be a salon owner. You can work on a cruise. You can travel. You can be an educator. You can do pretty much. It's like the possibilities are endless. You can make tons of money. It's really all up to you. And I think this is such a beautiful industry because, especially nowadays too, like we've created such a tight knit community where, like if this is an industry that you're thinking about, I think knowing that the possibilities are endless and that you are surrounded by a bunch of like-minded people, then you'll be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, I guess, more.
Yes, and I feel like, especially nowadays with social media, it's huge.
It's huge. It's almost
huge. Like when I'm like, look, like I followed you. I think I've been following you for like 2 years, maybe now, a year. I can't remember, but for a while. And that's great. Like now we're able to have you here and join us on our podcast. Right. But when I started when I started like as a licensed cosmetologist in 2007, like there was social media, but it wasn't used how it's used now. And so I definitely think it's starting being a hairstylist now, it's a lot easier to get to the top, you know, like to get sponsors from like companies or whatever, or just clientele because of social media.
Right. And it's just, I mean, like, it's a trade, I guess they call it, a vocational school. But I mean, once you finish beauty school, like, there's so much you can do. You can work for a product company. You can, mean, literally, there's so much you can do. So I think it's a great industry.
Definitely. So you live a very busy life being, you know, a lot of hats, wearing a lot of hats. How do you do it to integrate everything together and still being there for your son, still being there for your husband, your clients, your family?
I think, and like, I always think about this, and I don't even know if I could say this on here, but like, my dad's always like, échale ganas y amarres un huevo. And like, every time I think about that, I'm like, it's so true. Like, I have to just really, like, to translate that. I'm like, I don't even know how to translate that, but yeah, like, just keep pushing, like, one task at a time, make a list if you have to. And yeah, just, I feel like every time I think about this too, it's like, my parents came here with zero, you know, nothing. And they did it, and they're out here doing it still, you know, and they paved the way for me. So it's almost like I have no excuse. Like,
that's so true.
I have it all not handed to me, but like, I have it all. I have every resource possible there for me. So if I have to outsource, I'll outsource. If I have to just, you just have to keep pushing and try as hard as you possibly can, and just one task at a time.
Shout out to our parents.
Okay,
Shout out to our parents. Like, I can't even, like, my dad came here with, like, he didn't know a lick of English, you know, like, and now they're where they're at, and that's amazing. And I know the language. You know?
What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, that is 100% a Mexican dad quote right there.
Yes.
So, what part of Mexico are you guys from?
My dad's from Mexico City. My mom's from Durango.
Okay. So they met here in the United States?
They met in Mexico.
Oh, they met in Mexico?
My dad was... I'm sorry?
They met in Mexico, you said?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because my mom moved to, like, Durango, they both moved to Durango at some point. So they came here when my mom was 17 and my dad was 21.
Oh, okay.
Like,
your mom was young,
you know?
Yeah. I think about my parents a lot because when they came here, we came together. It was my parents and I. So I was like, how do they do it? Like you said, there was no job lined up. Like, oh, I'm gonna there was no house. Like, they moved in with my tia, my tío, crammed in like a 1-bedroom apartment with the 1-year-old in I was a year and 2 months, you know. And like, I think about it, and I'm like, if I had to move with my son to a whole different country, not knowing the language, not knowing where I'm gonna work or anything, like, wow.
Yeah. When you put that into perspective, for sure. Like, if how do I juggle a salon? I'm like, this is like a not a luxury, but like I don't know, I'm really blessed to have that. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of families who don't have that opportunity. So to have it, you kind of just have to keep pushing.
Exactly.
And there's really no excuse, you know?
Our struggles are definitely different than our parents. And like, our struggles don't seem like struggles compared to theirs.
Exactly. So every time I think about that, I just grab Xavier. I'm like, all right, we're going to do the salon thing. Let's go.
And at first, when I was found out I was pregnant, that's something that freaked me out when I found out I was pregnant. Like, obviously I was excited, but I'm like, I have all these goals I want to do, and how am I going to do it, you know?
Exactly.
But then you just do it.
Like, as a mom, like, you just do it. So that's like something that I felt like a lot of times I was like, how I'm going to balance it. But I was just telling you the other day, it's not balancing, it's integrating. You know, you can't just be like, all right, well, I'm at work, so I'm not a mom. Like, no, you still have to be like, you know.
And then somehow you just do it. Like, how? I don't know, but you still do.
Yeah, I don't know how my wife did it when she was pregnant. And
me neither, but
she cried a lot, but
I did. But yeah. All right, so to finish up our segment, I have some fun questions to ask you. So the first one is, what's your favorite restaurant and your go-to order from them?
Okay, so the other day when I was listening to your guys' podcast, I noticed that you said you like craft beer. Same. I love craft beer. So my favorite restaurant is called Open Outcry, and it's a brewery / restaurant. They have a brewery, but then they also have like where they make like brick oven pizzas.
Oh wow,
it's my favorite. So I'm like a craft beer.
What's it called?
You have to like send me that on like Instagram, inbox me that, or text me because what?
Yeah,
I love
so good.
Pizza and beer.
It's out here in the South Side. And it's called Open Outcry. And my favorite item on their menu is I really like an arugula pizza. So good. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Okay. Yes, definitely.
We gotta go.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they
weekend?
have like a really cool like rooftop where you can be on the rooftop having a beer. What? That's amazing.
Is it family friendly?
I think the rooftop you can't have kids up there, but either way, like they have like those where you can open the front of it. The front of the business opens.
So like a garage door?
Cool.
Huh?
Like one of those garage doors?
Yeah.
Almost. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. My wife always likes those.
So I told my husband our next salon spot, I want it to be like a former like automotive shop or something because I want those doors.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yes,
yep.
I'm like I want those doors so bad.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for the recommendation. We definitely have to check that out.
No problem.
So the next question was, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage?
Beer.
Craft beer.
Beer, and if I have to, like rum with something. I really like rum, but for sure beer. Like if I had to pick a beer, it would probably be Foggy Geezer, and I think it's Three Floyds or Gumball Head.
Okay.
Is that the one with the purple can or something like that?
It's a bottle and it has like I don't know what it's on front, but it's like purpley, colorful.
Oh, okay. That's so cool. I feel like usually girls, when I talk to them, they're like, I like a margarita or like a martini, but like it's hard to like find other girls that like beer. And I'm like, I love beer.
I like IPAs too.
Oh, that's my favorite. And so right now, like we've been doing, like we have like a drink while we do our podcast. Yeah. And we're not going to a liquor store right now. So what we had is Modelo. Yeah. And so I'm drinking it, but I just told my husband today, I'm like,
she likes that, what's it called? It's
July
or something.
I don't know. It's like
it's really good.
It's an IPA. It's so good. I have to like send it to you. It's I believe the brewery's in Florida, and I think it's Cuban owned.
Yeah.
That's fun. I just love the whole like craft part of it, where it comes from, what you put in it, what hops, whatever.
I love going to breweries because I love to like learn how it's made, and I feel like craft beer especially, like there's so much love that goes into it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yep. So fun. Like I like looking at the can, the design, like the whole thing, the whole experience.
The packaging.
Yeah.
I tell my husband too. I'm like, one day, if I'm ever rich,
we're gonna have one.
We're gonna have a brewery. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm like, I want a brewery.
And so then I look at like how I'm gonna design it and shit like that.
The
I
bottles.
waste like 2 hours on the internet looking at designs of craft beer. And
but have you been to Five Rabbits at Cerveceria?
No, and I keep wanting to go there because everyone tells me that it's so. I was actually like, we were planning on going, and then this happened.
Yeah, that's
but everyone keeps telling me that it's so cool.
I really, really want to go, and I know they're doing curbside pickup, and so we're like over an hour away. But I tell my husband that we should go, like we should call it in and like just go pick it up because I really, really want to try their beer. We were supposed to go there for my birthday in March, but like you said,
they have one that's supposed to taste like horchata or something. I don't know, but I think that'd be so cool.
They have una de guayaba, a beer that I want to try, but.
So our plan originally was we were gonna try like a different beer every episode, and
that's cool.
So it's gonna be
and like
and then hopefully people were gonna send us beer.
Sponsor us with beer.
That was my plan, but
yeah. So far, maybe Modelo if they're watching here. Yeah, right. So the next question: where do you like to shop? This could be for anything like home decor or whatever. Where do you like to shop?
I probably like my top 3 go-to stores are like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods. Yes. But I suck. I honestly hate shopping. It gives me anxiety. Yeah. So if I had to, it'd probably be any of those 3. Just because it's like a therapy thing. I just like looking at all the crap they got.
Yeah. I actually am more of an online shopper now. For sure. Like, I actually don't like to go into stores.
Right now.
Right. Well, unless it's IKEA. We do enjoy going to IKEA.
Do you really?
Yes. And we're those people that were there for hours.
We just walk around and don't buy shit sometimes. So
I think that's what, after like the salon stuff, like my husband and I, like, let's just go to Home Depot and see what they got. And then we will. And then we'll go into like the the nursery and look at all the plants. But probably Home Depot too then.
Home Depot? Yeah, we were there a lot.
Yeah, we were there a lot.
But IKEA and World Market. Remember? We would go to World Market like every week.
Yeah.
When we were doing the whole salon thing.
Yeah.
We would be at stores like every day almost when we weren't here.
Yeah, we were at stores all the time. All right. Is there anything you're interested in learning? Something you would like to know or learn that you don't know?
I think more of like the how to mark, like design. I don't know. I guess what you do, or like to do more of that stuff. That I wish I could. I don't even know where to start. Like someone let me borrow Illustrator, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Do you have any advice?
That's the one I use for logos and stuff.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, like stuff like that. I wish I could do more stuff like that, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Same.
Just YouTube. That's how I learned.
My husband
just YouTube all the
everything.
videos and
or even like
I really
like how to
oh sorry
videos. You know, I saw that you guys have like really cool videos. I'm like, I'd love learn how to like take video of the salon, or I don't know. Yeah, it's so cool.
I wonder if you could also like maybe like work with like a student. You know, someone that's like going to school for that.
Right.
Or something like that. That'd be cool. No?
Just try it yourself, and then it's gonna suck at first, but keep doing it.
Like I have a professional camera, but I don't know what any of it means. I just have to sit down and like really self-teach myself, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say about like Illustrator and stuff like that. Like when I was learning, I used to get really frustrated, and I would watch hours and hours of like YouTube videos and trying to teach myself. And
yeah,
I used to make like some really crappy stuff at first, and then
and I would always be like, "What are you doing? Like you spend so much time on the computer. Like what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And now I'm like, "Oh, that's what he was doing."
Yeah.
Right. It's harder than it looks. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still like, I don't get it. Is there anything I should have asked that didn't? Anything else you want to share?
No, I think that covered everything. I think we're good.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
like next time I really want that like Laura en America introduction.
What?
Oh,
And my husband's like,
I was like, nah.
he's like, I'm not gonna do that to her.
Wait, I want the carrito sandwichero.
Oh, we don't have that one. We need to add that.
I have what do I have? 8 options here.
Oh,
That's
So
cool.
I mean,
my God.
I didn't keep my word. I said that if you were a guest on our podcast,
Yes,
you were
you didn't
gonna have the.
I was waiting for that.
I mean, I should have.
Oh man. All right. Well, we're so happy you were able to join us. We were so
Thanks for
honored to
having me,
have
guys.
you as our first guest. Definitely an
fun.
inspiration for other people in the beauty industry, other hairstylists, other Latinas, moms, you know,
Yes.
Everybody. So thank you so much.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Just remember, échale ganas y embarrate un huevo.
That's gonna be our.
Yes, I was actually gonna. Do you have you heard like This Is and Meryl? Do you know who they are?
Yeah. I love them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, same. You know how like at the end they have like, what would you like your neon signs to say?
Oh, that's a good idea.
So
Like a quote.
I've been wanting to. I'm thinking like, and last night I was like, how do I tell her like, what would you like your neon sign to say without like literally copying This Is and Meryl?
Yeah.
You just said it.
Well, okay. So
Embarrate un huevo.
so when I edit this, I'm gonna put a nice little something at the top and.
So say it one more
So-
time. ¿Cómo dice tu papá?
Échale ganas y amárrate un huevo.
There you go.
That's gonna be the trailer for the week for the.
Yes.
Shout out to my dad.
Yeah. Shout out to your dad.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
enjoy
guys.
the rest of your weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
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 All right, we're going to go on a quick break. That was so much fun. Thank you once again, Bianca. And then a short break, and we'll be right back. Hola, this is Joanna. Thank you for listening to us. We're just getting started, so if you're enjoying our podcast, please tell your friends about us. Gracias. All right, we're back. So that was a lot of fun,
It was.
right? Our first guest to our podcast, Bianca Salazar. And what do you feel? Like,
I think it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're definitely gonna have.
I was gonna say, what was your favorite part?
We're definitely gonna have a guest. I mean, I do have a favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Her quote from her dad.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, damn, like that's Mexican. Like I could.
That's culture. That was the culture part to this.
Like I don't
podcast.
Like I don't know what her dad looks like, obviously, but I can like imagine like, damn.
I don't know,
Mexican dad saying
Bianca. I don't know if your dad has mustache, but in my head he does. Okay. But yeah, like I just have like this image of this like, you know, Mexican dad being like, no, I want that, you know, like.
Yeah.
And that what a like awesome quote to live life by, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start thinking of your dad now too. When shit gets hard.
It's gonna be like get a tattoo of that quote.
I thought like I was gonna ask her like, or tell her you should get this tattooed on you. Like that's wise words. I
mean, that's definitely gonna be part of our like trailer and stuff for the week.
Definitely. But yeah, so we had talked about Jesus and Mayor in the past.
Yeah.
And they have a podcast that's on YouTube as well. And they used to have a show, right? Was it HBO?
No, they still have their show on Showtime.
Showtime. But estaban en HBO before.
No, they used to be on Vice.
On Vice, sorry. Oh my God.
On Vice.
Yes,
and then they went to Big Time on Showtime.
Yes, that's right. But anyways, at the end of every segment, they always say they have their guests let them know what they would like their neon sign to say, and they put it on top.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to do something like that, but we don't really, obviously, I'm not going to like straight up copy what they say. So I'm trying to think of ways if we can be like, what would you like your sign to say? Or what would you know?
What would you like your send off?
Yeah. Or like, what quote do you live by? Something like that, you know? So if you have any ideas on how to phrase that, let us know. But it's something that we're definitely going to be doing. So any future guest, we will be asking you, what would you want Blink to say? I don't know. No sé cómo lo voy a decir, but yeah, if you have any thoughts,
I also got to stick to my word.
Yes, Bianca was very disappointed.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Man.
This is our first podcast, so.
It's the first time having a guest.
Or our first guest.
Yeah, our first guest, yeah. So, any future guests, you know, like he said, don't get offended. Te va a poner el... ¿Qué pasa, el desgraciado?
Yeah. I'm going to edit this and put it over.
No, you're not.
Nah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was today's episode. This is our 6th episode. I cannot believe we're already on our 6th episode.
For
thank you so much for joining us. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And any feedback, we appreciate. Once again, I think her name was Maddie, the girl that gave us a suggestion. For
about the Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
And Banda MS?
If I'm fucking up, I'm so sorry. But thank you so much. It was very appreciated. And any other questions, concerns, whatever, let us know. Comment below.
Concerns? Nah, don't let us know about any concerns. Questions.
Any feedback
we should talk about. No concerns.
No concerns. Keep it positive.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Peace out.